He had the swing. He had the swagger. He had everything. Rory McIlroy wasn't just good. He was generational. For majors before the age of 26, the golf world was buzzing. They said he was the next Tiger. Heck, even Tiger said he was the next Tiger. But then it all started to slip. Bad decisions, blow-ups on Sundays, mental fatigue, a master's curse that just won't die. And suddenly, the once unstoppable superstar was now the guy we all hoped would win, but didn't. This is the wild, chaotic, downright tragic unraveling of Rory McIlroy, and the absolutely shocking comeback that's silencing everyone. Let's dive in. Let's rewind to 2013. Rory's the golden boy. He's just inked a $200 million mega deal with Nike. New clubs, new clothes, new expectations. But guess what didn't show up? His game. And nowhere was that clearer than at the Honda Classic. Midway through his second round, after chunking a ball into the water and sitting at 7 over par, Rory just walks off the course. Gone. No handshake. No, thanks for coming. No explanation. Just ghosted the tournament. Later, his team blamed a severe wisdom tooth issue. But come on, really? A tooth? Even Rory later admitted. He quit out of frustration. And golf fans? They were furious. This wasn't the junior circuit. This was the PGA Tour. You can't just take your ball and go home when things get hard. That walk-off earned him 0 penalties, but a massive hit to his reputation. For a guy once seen as unshakable, this was the first real crack in the armor. And boy, the cracks kept coming. Fast forwards to 2022. The PGA versus LIV Golf drama is in full swing. And Rory? He became the tour's unofficial spokesman. Pressers, interviews, sound bites. Every week, he's out there swinging, not at golf balls, but at LIV defectors. Especially Patrick Reed, Phil Mickelson, Greg Norman, all of them. He's fiery, passionate, the people's champ. But here's the thing. He forgot to focus on winning. While the LIV guys were stacking cash, and sometimes even trophies, Rory was giving speeches. And by the end of 2022, he looked exhausted, mentally shot. And then came the ultimate backstab. The PGA Tour cut a deal with the Saudis. Behind Rory's back, he found out when we did. I feel like a sacrificial lamb, he said. Brutal. After a year of fighting the good fight, Rory got played. And all that energy? Wasted. Golf isn't politics. It's about wins. And Rory, by that point, was racking up close calls. And nowhere was that heartbreak more obvious than at the Masters. It's the one thing missing from his resume, the career Grand Slam. He's won the US Open, the Open Championship, the PGA. But Augusta? It haunts him. In 2023, the hype was off the charts. Everyone thought, this is finally the year. And then, boom, miscut, gone by Friday. No Sunday drama, no back nine charge, just gone. It was like watching a horror movie where the monster doesn't even show up. At this point, it wasn't just physical, it was mental warfare. Augusta lives in Rory's head rent-free. And every year, we all gather around the TV just to watch him fall apart again. And speaking of drama, who could forget T-Gate? It's early 2023, Dubai Desert Classic. Rory's on the range when Patrick Reed, now LIV's resident villain, walks over to say hi. Rory ignores him, stone cold. Reed, ever the petty king, tosses a LIV-branded tee at Rory's feet and walks off. And the internet exploded. Golf finally had a feud. Rory, the cool assassin. Reed, the cartoon villain with a grudge and a weird tee flick. But here's the kicker. Rory and Reed ended up battling head-to-head in the final round. It was fireworks, drama, a throwback to old-school showdowns. And Rory, he nailed a clutch birdie on 18 and took the win. Talk about poetic justice. He didn't just return the tee, he shoved it down Reed's throat. Now, let's talk about the most expensive nap in PGA Tour history. Late 2022, the Tour unveils its Player Impact Program. Basically a popularity bonus. Rory earns top marks, $12 million payout. But here's the catch. Players have to compete in all the designated events. And Rory skipped one early on. Strike one. Then in 2023, he skips another. The RBC Heritage. Boom. Penalty. They dock him $3 million of his bonus. And why? He said he needed a mental health break. Fair. Totally fair. But $3 million? Fans were split. Some praised him for protecting his sanity. Others called it a diva move. After all, he helped design this system. Either way, one thing was clear. This wasn't the same carefree Rory from 2011. The stakes were higher. The pressure was real. And it was starting to show. Then came the 2023 US Open. Final round. Rory's right there. chasing Wyndham Clark. He's striking it beautifully, hitting fairways. No huge mistakes. He's in position, but then nothing drops. Pars. More pars. Missed birdie after missed birdie. Meanwhile, Clark scrambles like a wizard and holds on. Rory finishes solo second. Again, he's now 9 years removed from his last major. And in the post-round interview, you could see the pain. He holds back tears. Says he'll keep knocking on the door. At this point, fans were begging the golf gods to just give the man a break. Because how many doors can one guy knock on before they stop opening? Which brings us to the real kicker. The PGA Championship 2024. Rory's in the mix again. Early rounds? Solid. He's hanging around, striking it well, putting himself in position. And then, Saturday hits. The wheels come off. A 74 in round 3. Gone. Just like that. It wasn't a blow-up. It wasn't a meltdown. It was just nothing. Fans? Devastated. The media? Brutal. Same story, different major. It felt like the end of the road. But then, something wild happened. Just weeks later, Rory shows up at the Scottish Open. Bad weather. Stacked field. Total grind. And on the final hole, he hits an absolute missile of a 2-iron into the wind, lands it tight, and drills the eagle putt for the win. No drama. No collapse. Just vintage Rory. He walked off the green with that old spark back, like a man who'd finally said, "I've had enough of losing." And suddenly, that major win that felt so far away didn't feel so impossible anymore. Rory McIlroy's journey isn't just about talent. It's about perseverance. He's crashed. He's burned. He's walked off courses, fumbled majors, carried the weight of a fractured sport. But he's still here, still chasing, still fighting, still swinging like a man with something left to prove. Because the thing about Rory, he might lose, but he never gives up. And when that next major finally drops, and you know it will, it's not just going to be a win. It's going to be a full circle, fist-pumping, legacy-cementing roar. So yeah, he had it all, then lost it. But Rory McIlroy, he's coming back for everything.